Yeah, I've known for a long time that this is what I wanted to do. And for a while, I was scared to even pursue it because I didn't think that it was something that was acceptable for me to pursue. In a sense, I didn't know how like my parents would like react to it. I'm Jeph Haven on all platforms, Jeph Haven. You can find me on Instagram where I'm posting about all things music, all things art, all things acting. Check out my campaign, Jeph Haven, Unknown Creatives. I definitely see this song. I always write songs thinking how I'm gonna perform it. And I definitely want Care For Me to be one of those songs where I can like perform on stage, and that's when like it slows everything down. It makes all the couples kind of, we're like, oh yeah, I'm with this person right now. And then it's just like it just kind of changes the atmosphere. And like I just want that song to be like one of those songs that couples can play all the time. I knew that I had like a knack for music early on when I had people around me tell me that I was a good singer, even though I wasn't. So, but I was just better than like my peers, like the kids around me. So like I could like hold a note a little better. I wasn't like a protege. I think creating has to be one of the most fulfilling parts. Like just seeing an idea, a hook, a melody come to life. You know, I just gotta get over myself. I always tell myself, I'm like, yo, like you can't just write songs and like not share them, because that's not art. It's selfish. Once you write it, once you have that idea, it's your right, especially as an artist, to share it. Like you can't hoard it. You know, I think like if I like when I'm writing songs and I feel like it's like super personal, like I used to think like, oh, no one's gonna like, I'm a mess, like no one's gonna really care about this, no one's gonna really care what I'm talking about. But I've seen artists shut me up with that, because I've saw artists dive into their mental health and dive into topics that I didn't think about touching, just talking about vulnerable things within their family life, their upbringing. I'm like, oh, like we can dabble into this, you can talk about that, oh, it's okay, and people actually relate to it. Whenever I'm thinking like, oh, no one's gonna listen to this, like no, it's probably not true, and that's probably just like your ego trying to stop you. People want to see the real you, and people want to tune into who you are.
Why are your teeth so white? How do you get those teeth?
I brush them. Baking soda.
No, there's more to it than that.
I brush it with baking soda and like.
Baking
Can you hear me?
soda?
Yeah, baking soda and hydrogen peroxide. There's baking soda toothpaste, and then like
shit.
yeah, and Arm & Hammer. So like hydrogen peroxide is what like dentists use to whiten people's teeth. So I just use
Like DIY toothpaste.
yeah, and I just brush it. No, not daily. It'll erode your enamel. So you want to just do that like once in a while.
And then that's it? Because your teeth are very white.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I do. And then also like I also try to like not drink things that stain my teeth, like coffee. Like too much, I drink with a straw, or like I will just like brush my teeth right after I like eat something like that will stain my teeth. Yeah.
Is like image very important to you? Like,
I think so. I think for me, like how you have to look like how you want the world to like, how you want the world to treat you. So like, you know, when you are well presented, you're basically telling everybody how to treat you.
interesting.
You know?
Yeah, you treat yourself well.
Exactly. You treat like you instantly, yeah. Like you see, you go into a room, you walk in, and someone's well dressed. You're automatically gonna respect them just off of just. That's just what you're gonna want to do, because they respect themselves. You also feel better, and like how you look also is like, it's very hygienic. And when you come in and you are clean, trimmed, and ready to go, you know, it's just like
It does feel good.
it does feel good, you know. And you walk different, you talk different, you know. It's just especially as an artist. Especially as an artist.
You can't, these rooms get like,
Exactly. Or like you don't want to have that like double take. It's just like you're thinking about something, you're like, no, everything's all ready to go,
Yeah.
and then you don't have anything underlying. You're just like, yeah, I look good, let's just get this thing done.
exactly. Yeah, you don't want to be like a disgusting, tortured intellect.
Yeah, you know.
Fucking with pen and quill, with the quill.
Yeah, unless that's what you want. Unless like you know you want to wear the hoodie and you want to wear like the, you could do that as well. But
like different things that give different people their
exactly,
stuff.
exactly.
On what occasion are you going out in like burlap sack in garb?
I'd say
Trash bag over you.
probably if I'm like going to the grocery store or something.
Yeah.
But even then, I try to still look presentable. I guess like at home, probably home, or from like at the studio,
Yeah.
late night. Like I just want to be comfy. You'll probably see a big sweater on me, sweats.
Yeah.
You know, no Crocs ever. But like, yeah, I don't have any Crocs. I get they're comfy, but just not for no shade to Crocs.
Yo, what Crocs?
I
You need to go Crocs.
love Crocs. Yeah.
Top 5 worst things about Crocs. Go.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Well, so why did you start making music? What was the thing? What was the spark? What was the light?
I knew that I had like a knack for music early on when I had people around me tell me that I was a good singer, even though I wasn't. So, but I was just better than like my peers, like the kids around me. So like I could like hold a note a little better. I wasn't like a protege. Like I had to definitely learn, find my sound. So like I think I was about 8 years old and I was listening to High School Musical. And I was like, yeah, High School Musical. And I was like singing. I never sung like a full song ever. So I learned one of the songs from high school. I think it was Bet on It. And I learned the entire song. And then I sang it for my family. And they were like, whoa, you're really good. And I was like, whoa, like maybe there's something here. That was the first time I moved people with my voice. And that was the first time also people listened to me. Because I was the youngest in my family. And I was always getting dismissed all the time. But when I sang, everyone paid attention to me, and it was like a life-changing thing. So I was just like, okay, maybe there's something here that I can develop myself with. And like, I just started training more, started singing more, my voice got better, and then I was able to like captivate people like in rooms, doing musical theater and making my own songs. So yeah.
So how long have you been like doing that for then?
So I started writing music at 16. And that's when I came up with my name as well, Jeph Haven, and I was just writing love songs. Like, I still do. I think I'm like addicted to writing love songs. Yeah. But like, yeah, that's what I think 16 is when I started like taking it like seriously. Like when I wanted to make songs of my own and like just kind of tell my own story. Yeah.
What part in the process like is the most fulfilling for you? Like, is it making the song? Is it like getting to show people the song?
I think creating. I think creating has to be one of the most fulfilling parts. Like just seeing an idea, a hook, a melody come to life, and then also being able to see it transpire in like whether I played in a car and I see people bopping their head, or like I see it in a space and I see people are like, whoa, who's this? And like people are inquisitive. I was like, that is a good feeling. So like I guess from the process to like actually finally letting it out, but that's also nerve-wracking too. But I say the process. I enjoy the process more.
Yeah, how do you get over those nerves?
I just gotta get over myself. I always tell myself, I'm like, yo, like you can't just write songs and like not share them, because that's not art. It's selfish. So like once you write it, like once you have that idea, you like it's your right, especially as an artist, to share it. Like you can't hoard it, So that's kind of how I get over it. I just remember that's like you gotta share it. You gotta share it, and you never know who you can help, who can relate to you, or who is you have no idea who wants to say exactly it is that you're saying, but you found the words and they just haven't yet, so you can help somebody as well. So yeah, that's how I look at it. I just follow that drive and urge.
Is that why you do it then, to like help people?
Yeah, I think like we're all connected, like all of us humans, and I feel like we're all story driven people. That's how we operate in society. That's how we connect with one another, through storytelling, whether it's through movies, TV, music, like music, like we love stories. So like, if I'm able to like convey a story and then it just so happens like Kat can relate to it as well, it's like that's a win, because it's just like, yeah, you're not alone in this, and you just feel way more connected at the end of the day.
Yeah, is that how you feel about, like, do you see other artists as like competition, or do you see it as like a collective, like you're bringing other people out?
No, I don't see artists as competition. I actually get inspired from artists more than I feel like I have to compete with them, because because to me it's like I feel like we're all just doing the same thing.
You never feel like a natural like competitiveness, even like
like
a little twinge?
No,
little twinge?
Not even. Like I feel like there's certain times I hear a song, I'd be like, I wish I wrote that.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh my gosh, like why didn't I?
Wish I strangled him.
No, never. And even if I am like, say, like envious of like an artist that like wrote a great song, I'm just like, I always appreciate it when I'm like, oh, thank you, like that was a gift for me. Now I got to get to work and like do something that can like connect with someone else. But like I think it makes no sense to be jealous of another artist, because I guess we're all just working towards the same thing. Like we're all trying to release all the creative energy that we have in us before we die. So That's
You ever like see an artist do something that you were scared to do, and then they kind of make space for that for you to do it? Has that ever like happened? Is there any examples you can say from?
has that happened? Yeah. I've
You probably already did it.
Yeah, or like there's times I've seen artists do stuff and I didn't even think of it. I'm just like, oh shoot, you can do that.
Yeah.
Like for instance, like Donald Glover, and like how he's just so weird, and he doesn't put on a show for anyone, but he kind of just brings you into his world. Like before, I never seen acts like that prior, but when you see Donald when he comes to a room and he's just wearing like a t-shirt and sweats and like a Eskimo hat. And he's just like, yeah, I'm the best rapper in the world. Of course, I'm better than Kanye. And it's just like, what are you? It's just like, I love artists who are that audacious and like who can just go for it and just be themselves. And that is what's intriguing about them. Yeah.
Someone you look up to, because you're an actor and musician yourself.
Yeah. He's definitely on like my Mount Rushmore for sure. Like for creatives, for sure.
How would your ideal career go then? Because like you're acting now and in music now. You see yourself kind of following that.
Yeah, I would, like, in terms of like how, like the movies, yes, TV, yes, the music, absolutely. I think he's shown, like, there's no artist that's done it like him, and he's shown that there is space for you in every lane, and you can do it exactly your way. Like, you can't compare his work to anyone else's, you know. So that's
if you were to make a show like he did Atlanta, produced, wrote, and now head of, what do you call it, main actor of Atlanta. How would your show look like?
I have no idea. How would my show look like? I don't know. I don't know. We're still in the works.
What would the characters say to each other?
First scene, can you reenact everything?
What would that show look like?
Who knows?
Would you act yourself, like write, act, produce, do everything?
I would. That'd be so
You
weird.
have the soundtrack too for it, no?
Yeah, he does that. He does that.
I forgot. There's that whole album he did where there's a whole movie to it.
Yeah.
Because the internet, he dropped like a whole freaking screenplay. He didn't really like put it. He just dropped the script.
Exactly.
It's crazy in itself too. So.
Yeah, he's insane. Yeah. But to answer your question, I don't know. I don't know. I haven't really given it much thought. For sure. It wasn't a dumb question, but like, no, that's not. I'll give it some thought now, for sure though.
What you want to do, and like how long has it been since you've like known that this is what you want to do, or is it even what you want to do? Or is this just what you're doing now?
Yeah, I've known for a long time that this is what I wanted to do, and for a while I was scared to even pursue it because I didn't think that it was something that was acceptable for me to pursue, in a sense, because like I didn't know how like my parents would like react to it, or how like what my family would think. But like as I gotten older and I gotten better, and you know I gotten more support from the people I really care about towards this thing, that's what gave me the confidence to even pursue it. And I knew from when I was singing High School Musical that like I want to do this, and I knew when I was singing in front of my family I was like I want to do this for sure, and like make everyone feel like this. Like I get goosebumps seeing an artist on his set performing his song and he doesn't have to sing, and like everyone else in the stadium is singing the song that he wrote or people wrote, but it's just like one of those, it's a beautiful moment, and like that's what I want for myself, and I want to be able to connect with people like that. Yeah.
Have you ever had a moment where you're like fuck this, like I can't do this? Like have you ever had a moment where like all of that belief just was shattered?
Yeah, all the time.
How do you build it back up?
That's the thing, I don't have to, because like there's times where I feel like every artist can relate to this, like you feel distraught and you feel like there's no point of you pursuing this, and I think that's a healthy thing when it comes to something you love, because if you feel like you're not like in a sense like worthy for this thing, and you feel like, oh man, there's no point in trying, like it means like you kind of have some reverence for it, and like you feel like, okay, I'm just gonna leave it to like some other people who are better than me at it. But like whenever like again I hear artists that inspire me, that just automatically brings me back, and I always find myself back at the writing pad or back on the computer or back at my scripts, just trying to put my story and my voice to things, you know. So like it's like, as much as I try to leave it, I haven't really like given up or like forsaken music, but like it's always just been like a moment of just like, all right, let's get back to it, like get back on the horse, like you're not stopping, like that's just, it's a calling, and I just have to answer to it. Yeah. Yeah.
So I heard earlier you said you were going from church.
Mm-hmm.
So you're a God-fearing man.
Yeah.
How
We love God.
is, the big man factor in your life?
Yeah, God plays a huge role in my life. I think that for anyone who's like was raised in the church, music is gonna be all around you all the time, whether it's in your house, whether it's at church, whether it's like just in your head. Like the old hymns are just always gonna be in your head. So like I was always in the choir. I was like the church kid that would get the solos like at the church. I was that kid. So yeah, like I don't know, like God does play a huge role in, I think, in my creativity. I think that's where my source comes from. I think that's where my passion comes from and my drive as well. So yeah, thanks to the big guy.
Is it still playing? Yeah. I want to hear about that song. Like, that song. Who was the inspiration? Was there a moment?
Yeah, Care For Me. I wrote Care For Me in afternoon, actually. I received the beat from a producer from Germany, and I heard the sample, and the sample, like in the beginning, was like those beautiful. I heard the oohs and the ahs, and I was like, ooh, that's pretty, and I instantly captivated me. And then it was like this voice said, like, you said you care for me, and then I was like, let me play off that. The voice, like in the sample, it said, oh, you said you care for me, and I was like, let me play off that. So I just kind of like utilized that voice, and then it just kind of got me writing. Like I literally I probably wrote that song in like 4 hours. Like just like it was just flowing out of me. Like I get those sessions often, not often actually, they're rare, but where like the song's kind of just spilling out of me, and then all of the parts just come to me, like the hook, the verses, outro, and like yeah, it was just like a natural moment. And I guess I don't know if I was like writing from experience, but at the time I was definitely writing, and I really felt really attached to the lyrics. I still do, you know, because it's a song about basically caring about somebody, but they're not reciprocating the way that you want them to, and you're trying to show them that, you know, you're down and here for the long run, but like they're not necessarily, or they don't think you're like serious. And then it's just like this whole, okay, like this little dance, this back and forth, and it was, I think that's where I was coming from when I was writing the song. Yeah.
When you're out and about, you get like a nice song idea, and you're not with your studio. Do you find it like that it's dead if you're not able to like put it all in? Because there's this idea of like when artists like have their inspiration, those moments after the inspiration is most important.
Yeah, I've had a lot of like songs like go by the wayside because I didn't have like either a notepad or my phone. Now what I started doing is like I just record myself singing a melody whenever I like get an idea, because I don't want to lose it. But I used to lose songs all the time. But now I get more innovative. I'm just like, nope, I gotta like get into a quiet space, and like even if it's like I'm humming into the mic, just like I'll know what it is, write the words in my notes, and I'll be like, okay, I can just play off that. And like just always get like a nugget from whatever that creativity is. But if I do get creative and I'm in a space, then it's over. It has to get done. Like I have to record it right there and then, because it fleets. Like Michael Jackson said the same thing. He's just like, oh, I need to go to the studio right now, because it's gonna go. By the time you go to bed and wake up, it's not gonna be the same. I've lost so many melodies like that. I lost like so many songs because I was just like, oh, that's hard. All right, let me just go to bed. And then I went to bed, woke up, and I'm just like, what? And I don't even like recall how I said it. Is that how I sang it? And I'm just like, it's just the worst. So like I try to act as soon as possible on a creative idea.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like I'll have that initial idea, and then it's like once the technical aspect comes into it of like, oh, what's this beat? Like, what are the
Yeah.
fucking lyrics? Like,
Mhm.
how do you feel about?
Did I say it that fast? Like,
Yeah.
it's like, yeah.
How do you feel about like overcomplicating your music? Like, do you ever get lost in the details of it?
Yeah, I do. I get lost in like the lyricism a lot. I try to use the KISS method, like keep it simple, stupid. Where like I try to like use like all these like I'm trying to use all these like big words to try to convey the story, but I'm just like, hey man, like people are gonna have to sing this, and like most people just wanna hear a song that they can connect with and not have to like Google words and like, you know, like do research. But yeah, I try to make music that people can sing to and people can like connect with now, as opposed to like when I was trying to, like when I first started writing songs, I was like putting crazy words in there. I'm just like reading the dictionary, I'm like, use that word, and then like it's like, no, it's like, it's whatever feels true. I think that's what you should put down, and if it doesn't feel true, then you're wasting your time.
How do you find a balance between making music that people are gonna want to listen to versus something that you feel like is you?
That's a good question.
Katane doesn't believe in balance.
I think like if I like when I'm writing songs and I feel like it's like super personal, like I used to think like, oh, no one's gonna like, I'm a mess, like no one's gonna like gonna really care about this, no one's gonna really care about like what I'm talking about. But like I've seen artists shut me up with that, because like I've saw artists dive into their mental health and dive into topics that I didn't think about touching when I was writing music, and I was just like, oh, you can talk about that, oh, it's okay, and people actually relate to it. You know, when I see like the Summer Walkers and I see Chance the Rappers like just talking about vulnerable things within their family life, their upbringing, I'm like, oh, like we can dabble into this and people actually connect. So like I try to, whenever I'm thinking like, oh, no one's gonna listen to this, like, no, it's probably not true, and that's probably just like your ego trying to stop you. Exactly, because like people don't want to hear like the same thing regurgitated, like just on a different melody, different beat. It's like people want to see the real you, and people want to tune into who you are as an artist. So yeah, that's how I kind of get over that.
Yeah.
For bringing back to Care For Me a bit, just on the song, where do you see Care For Me going, and what's the plan with the song?
I definitely see this song. When I wrote it, I wanted it like I always write songs thinking that of how I'm gonna perform it, and I definitely want Care For Me to be one of those songs where I can like perform on stage, and that's when like it slows everything down. It makes all the couples kind of, we're like, oh yeah, I'm with this person right now, and then it's just like, oh my gosh, am I actually, is what I'm saying matching what I'm doing? Okay, like can we, like it just kind of changes the atmosphere, and like I just want that song to be like one of those songs that couples can play all the time. The girl, exactly, you know, like that's one of the songs I wanted to like boost as well, because I love writing that song, and I think a lot of people can relate to it, especially in our generation.
Yeah. You're raising money for a music video. What's your vision for the music video?
So like I got a director in mind, and we were chatting it up a bit. We actually had a vision of just having, okay, it's a boy and a girl. All right. And and it's basically just showing the girls giving the guy the runaround. He's just on all fours, just trying to, he's just like, come on, like I'm here, you know, kind of thing. It's kind of like the chase kind of thing, but then over time, I guess the guy gets more self-reassurance and self-love, and then that makes the girl attracted to him, and then you realize at the end it was all about self-love, you know? But like it's just like, you know, you can't ask someone to love you if you don't love yourself. So like it's gonna be like, that's gonna be like the whole music video.
Is that the overall message of the song?
Yeah, I think so. I think everyone should like reflect in on themselves and not try to let someone else control you. Whether it's like, if someone doesn't reply to you, bro, don't sit up all night waiting for them to reply. Just live your life, do what you got to do, like, you know, because at the end of the day, if you want your love to be reciprocated properly, you gotta love yourself properly. You know, you can't just like lose yourself. So yeah, that's what I want people to get from the song, and that was the message I was trying to convey.
What song is about caring for people? Like, what is like your philosophy on caring for people? What is care?
Caring, like, you can care for people in a lot of ways. Like, I think it really comes down to how you show people that you're there for them, you know. And like, obviously, depending on the situation of the relationship, it's going to be different, whether it's platonic, whether it's romantic or intimate. Like, if it's like with friends, like, honestly, I know my friends care for me if they just send me a meme, and it like reminds them. It was like, yo, this reminded me of you, dog, and it's like, oh, that's sweet, you know. Like, or like, you know, when like it's a phone call or a simple text, you know, checking up on you, hey bro, how you doing, you know. If it's in a romantic relationship, it's like, oh, you know that I like that, and you got me that, or you're thinking about me, so it's like those little things show that you care for somebody. And I think like in our generation, like, everyone's just trying to be cool, you know. Everyone's like so self-driven and oriented, like we forget that, yeah, and we don't want to feel desperate. We all want to be cool people, so it's just like we forget that like there's an art to relationships. Like, it's a lost art, you know. Even like when you have people over and like you're hosting and like you're make sure everyone's carried, like that's all an art that's like, I feel like it's getting lost. So like that's what I want my music to connect with people and like be like, yo, like it's good to do the corny stuff, it's good to love, you know what I mean? Yeah, you know, yeah, dinner parties and hosting and all that stuff, but like it's a love song, and however you show love is how you should show up for people, and that's how you can show that you care.
Yeah. So the song is optimistic then?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Is a lot of your music optimistic? How would you feel about calling it optimistic? Is it like, is there a general like sense of cynicism or like optimism?
Some of my music, not all of it's happy. Certain music is definitely like, I was definitely in the moment and I was like in a funk, but it kind of like, I use it as like sort of therapy in a sense. But I do try to have a lot of optimism in my music, where like I'm letting people know that it's okay, or I'm a work in progress, or like I'm gonna get through this, but this is just where I'm at now. It doesn't mean this is where I'm gonna be forever.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely have a lot of music where it's like, yeah, I'm gonna overcome this. I'm struggling right now, but like, watch, like, give me some time.
Yeah.
You know?
You're an independent artist, correct?
I am independent.
Because I don't get it.
I think an independent artist is an artist that basically has taken their creative output into their own control. They don't rely on a system in order to release music. So whatever issue comes their way, they handle it. So they're basically always wearing multiple hats. They're always making sure that they sound good, songs mixed, let's release, how are we gonna roll it out, how are we gonna perform this, how are we gonna promote this. So like, you're basically in control. You have full creative control of everything when it comes to your art. And being independent, that also means that you are self-funded as well for the most part. Well, that's how it usually goes. Or you could, I guess, get a grant as well. But it is what it sounds like. You are functioning off of your own volition with your art, taking everything. You're holding the steering wheel. Like, everything is just in your hands.
How sustainable do you think that is? Because I feel like for a lot of artists, at some point in their career, they're going to want to get a label, and I don't take this out of my hands. That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So how sustainable it is for other artists, and how sustainable do you think it is for you?
As terms of sustainability, it just all comes to how you work it. Of course, you gotta operate within a budget, however you can, and it also just means you have to be more creative when it comes to how you can do things that mitigate costs. So like, what can you do for yourself that you don't need to hire somebody to do? What is it that you can do that makes things sound world class and not just like it's out of your bedroom? but like how can people make sure to take you seriously as an artist even though you don't have a system behind you? Like those things are all important. And as far as sustainability, as long as you are crafty, as long as you are creative, and as long as you are staying passionate and driven, I think the world's your oyster if you have all those like things. But if not, and if you want to just like throw other people like delegations, and I think that, you know, hiring a team and getting people who are willing to work with you is important. But if you are someone who likes to wear all the hats, then it's as sustainable as you want it.
Right.
Yeah.
So do you want to stay independent for as long as you can, or what's your plan?
Of course, like I'd want to eventually put more money into my budgeting, more money into my projects, because like of course like the art, you don't want the art to suffer. And if the opportunity does come up, then I would like to maybe do a partnership or sign a deal where I can, you know, help a company but they also help me, and like it have to be like a symbiotic relationship where like I can do for them as much as they can do for me, and it's not just me like just waiting on the sidelines or being shelved, you know. But yeah, I think it's important to, if your royalties are valuable, you know. And what makes your royalties valuable is if you have a fan base, if you have people who love your music and tap into it, if you believe in yourself enough where you know that you are worth something, people value you, then you should own your masters, because that's very important. But if you know you're not getting that many streams and people are not tapping in, maybe, you know, slicing half of a grape doesn't really make sense when you can just have a watermelon, you know. So like it's like, you know what I mean? So it's like you can it all just matters like how what it's worth, and you have to be really like realistic with yourself as well. So like I guess yeah, to answer your question. Okay, so for Care For Me, all profits will be going towards promoting the song and also the music video as well. And yeah, that would pretty much be what I'd be doing with all profits will be going towards the art. Check out my campaign, Jeph Haven, Unknown Creatives. Yeah, so I'm Jeph Haven on all platforms, JEPH Haven. And yeah, you can find me on Instagram where I'm posting about all things music, all things art, all things acting. And my Unknown Creatives page is there as well. Yeah.
Beautiful. You're Unknown Creatives.
Unknown
Now say
Creatives.
Unknown Creatives. Say,
I love Unknown Creatives.
I love Unknown Creatives.